I usually don't mute my videos because I want you to hear me giving commands and things, but this audio was so bad. It was all just wind and a dog whining, and I didn't want to listen to it, so I don't think other people want to listen to it. But anyway, Board and Train Mav is starting e-collar conditioning because he's a good boy. So we're working on some heel, and then today we actually introduced sit for the first time. First time I'm doing sit with him, so I'm using leash pressure as well as pairing it with the e-collar so he learns how to turn all of that pressure off. Eventually we want to just be able to ask with the e-collar. Now, with e-collar conditioning and e-collars in general, I do like to let people know because the kind of thought process around them tends to be more negative. You can see in this video, like I'm stimming him right here. We're at such a low level that he can feel it, but it's not like dramatic. It should not be dramatic. Good dog training is super boring, which brings us to our next talking point. You'll see there's a dog on the bed back there. That is Miss Cafe. Now, Cafe's here for a board and train because she has some dog reactivity issues. And if you understand dog body language, you can see back there she is a little bit stressed. She's panting. She's not the happiest, but that's okay. Sometimes we have to do hard things, and that's just the reality of being a dog trainer. Is not every dog is going to be easy little golden retriever puppies with their tails wagging. Sometimes we do have to put the dogs under controlled stress. Now Cafe knows place very well. I still have her back tied for both her and Mav's safety in case she decides to get off the bed. She has nowhere she can really go, which she did not really need the back tie all this session, but I like to be extra safe. And I just have her hanging out there while he trains. It's good for her to kind of just not have a dog mess with her, even though she sees them, and it's just a neutral experience and nothing really is coming from it. And you can see here with teaching him sit, we're still learning how to yield to that leash pressure, so it is taking him a second to turn it off. But as we progress with the session, you can watch him get a lot better with it. Like there, he was already faster. And sometimes when we're teaching our dogs things like sit or down with the leash pressure, you have your first struggle reps, which are expected. But where people start freaking out is where the dog will kind of regress a little bit in the session. And then after, if you work through that regression point, they will go back to progressing. That regression point tends to just be dogs going like, do I actually have to do this? Are you really going to make me do this? So just kind of work through that. And of course, like we're using appropriate amounts of pressure for all these things, whether it's emotional and environmental pressure like Cafe's experiencing over there, or if it's physical pressure like the e-collar or the slip leash. I'm not doing anything that's going to like harm the dog mentally or physically. Everything is very fair. And you'll notice with him, so a second ago, he sat kind of crooked, and then there he just sat kind of far back. When dogs do that, I'll reward them in a way that makes them more wrong. So if you sit crooked from me, I'm going to feed you with your head facing out, so you really have to stretch to get that food. And if you're too far behind me, I'm going to make you stretch forward to get the food. I want the right thing to be easy and the wrong thing to be a little more difficult. However, when we're doing stuff like teaching sit for the first time, I'm not going to sit here and get super duper picky on his sit position. I want him to have rewards with the behavior. So that's a way for me to kind of encourage the ideal behavior without saying he's completely wrong since he is sitting. He's also getting a lot better with the kennel, so something we've been working on with him is he likes to rush out the kennel, which is super dangerous, especially if he's at a boarding facility or even just here in training. I don't want him to rush out and get loose. And then also with going in the kennel, he did not want to go in at all previously, and now he's kind of going in on his own. Today he had a little bit of hesitation, but that's okay. And then Miss Cafe, I almost gave her food out of my treat pouch, remembered that was Mav's food, and so I made the long trek back to her food bag. But Cafe is now officially working off of just her kibble, so we're not using treats at this point. I might pull the treats out again if we go to a completely new space and it's like kind of stressful. but for now, Kibble's the best bet for her. I put that slip collar on her at the beginning of the session and realized my back tie line was too short for it, so that's why she had that and the slip leash on. But the slip leash is just like clipped to that leash that's attached to those shelves, so if she did get off, you know, it's nothing bad's gonna happen. She's just gonna be standing there kind of tied up. But she did fantastic. Both dogs are doing really good. I'm really excited to watch them both progress. And we're also working on some control with Cafe too, just kind of working on her not releasing herself to the kennel, which sounds like a silly thing to us because most of us want the dog to go to the kennel easily, but it's about the structure and the control of the situation.